We're in session in two cases. First case is cause number 330044, and the second case is cause number 330822. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Joshua Byron Cathy. We have Mr. Cathy appearing via Zoom. Mr. Cathy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cathy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cathy, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cathy?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Cathy, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Charles McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. McIntosh, do you waive a record in Mr. Cathy cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cathy,
Yes, sir.
hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Cathy, the first case that I have is cause number 330044. And in this case, Mr. Cathy, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about May 31st of 2020, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Cathy, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Cathy, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I believe we're pleading guilty on these.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I have some paperwork here, Mr. Cathy, that has some initials JC on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr.
Yes,
Cathy,
sir.
are you pleading guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Cathy, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Cathy, on the next document that I have is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And as I mentioned earlier, there are a set of initials JC on the line next to the box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cathy, also I have before me at the top of this document, two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cathy, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Cathy, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. McIntosh, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections.
Okay. No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Now, Mr. McIntosh, I was looking at the misdemeanor plea admonishment. It has the Class B misdemeanor check. I think the box that needs to be checked, it says driving while intoxicated, DWI first. Do I have your permission to make that correction?
You do, Judge. The reason why I didn't is my understanding was that was for if there was above a 0.15 blood alcohol. And
if it was 0.15, you check off Class A.
Okay, it's fine, Judge. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And Mr. Kathy, may I have your permission to make that correction on this here document?
What is it?
I'm changing the wrong box was checked. It
Oh,
both,
yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
both of them, it's a class B, but it's a class B DWI.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now,
And Judge, we're gonna have to do that on both of them. That's my bad.
okay, okay, we'll make that correction when we get to it. And I have permission to make that correction on that one as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kathy, he said I have to make the correction on the next document as well. Would I have your permission to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, now just let me repeat now, Mr. McIntosh, you advising counsel, Mr. Kathy, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kathy, attorney, Mr. McIntosh is advising counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kathy, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waiver you freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The agreement is for 59 days, county jail with credit for time served, tax and retired court costs.
Okay, Mr. Kathy, the state is offering that you serve 59 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in jail on this case because you've already served 59 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $442, but you will not have to pay the $442 because the 59 days or the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Kathy, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kathy, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Kathy, I will proceed to your next case, your second case, and that case is cause number 330822. And in that case, Mr. Kathy, the information alleges that on or about March 27th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Kathy, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Kathy, how do you plead? Guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, and are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
And okay, Mr. Kathy, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And on this document, Mr. Kathy, there's a set of initials. Well, I'll make that same correction that I made on the previous document, make the DWI first, which is a class B misdemeanor. And on the second page of the same document, there's a set of initials JC on a line next to a box that check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the last page, or the third page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defender. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature above the line that is titled defender. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
That's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kathy, Did you sign a document out there, in this case, on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Kathy, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No
Yeah.
objections.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. McIntosh, you advising counsel, Mr. Kathy, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kathy, your attorney has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kathy, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 4 days county jail with credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs. And that's to run concurrent with cause number 330044.
Okay, Mr. Kathy, the state is offering that you serve 4 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 4 days. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case, Mr. Kathy, is $442, but you will not have to pay the court cost in this case because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. This case will run concurrent with cause number 330044. Mr. Kathy, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Oh, yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Huh?
Do you accept the state's offer?
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Kathy, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Kathy, these cases will be running together. They'll be running concurrent. Mr. Kathy, this will conclude your cases. You are excused and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Y'all too. I appreciate y'all.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you. Y'all have a good one.
And you're excused as well, Mr. McIntosh, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
And Ms. Maxey and Mr. Boyd, you all are also excused and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, you have another attorney in the, I'm not sure if Mr. Burbank needs you or not.
He might be there for Judge Woods.
Yeah.
Judge Woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a blessed day. And you have a blessed day, Mr. Burbank.
Your Honor, always good to see you.
All right. Same here.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.